Men who are embarrassed buying feminine hygiene products for family members. Exactly what are you worried other people are thinking? Never understood why this was a thing. Are men afraid the cashier will think, haha, this guy has a significant other, family member, or close friend that they care about? How embarrassing. As a guy, I never understood the embarrassment. Like, haha, you know a woman. Boys, is it gay to like women now? When I was younger, I was worried that people would think they were for me, but then at one point I realized that I don't give a fuck about others' opinions. Especially strangers. It never bothered me in the least, as long as I was told exactly what to get. A few times I did notice that younger women were uncomfortable with me on that aisle with them and would walk away until I was done. I think this is something everyone has been conditioned to be embarrassed about from sitcoms. I have never cared about buying products for my wife, it's just a natural function of her body. There was a study a while ago in which some men refused to touch a clean tampon because just the idea of it was gross to them. I think that's what's going on here. It's not that they think people will laugh at them for having a woman in their life they care about, it's that to them tampons are gross and people will see them with a gross thing. Yet nobody bats an eye at toilet paper. In the olden days when I was growing up, 1950s-1960s women were made to feel embarrassed. Advertisements for products were really vague and rife with euphemisms. It was like the whole menstruation process was so shameful and embarrassing that girls didn't even want brothers or dads to know they started. It was gross. My sister is quite a bit younger and things were better for her. I remember once overhearing her telling our dad that she had cramps and I almost fainted. She looked at me like I was insane and said, "He has a wife and 2 daughters. Don't you ever talk to him about it?" Things have improved a lot, but I'm wondering if men still somehow get that weird mentality passed down from older guys or something. I married a guy with several older sisters and he's never had an issue. My girlfriend sent me round to buy her some tights once from the local shop and the girl behind the counter mocked me. This was 30 years ago in a small Irish town and I'm sure it's changed. Legend has it that a man's nuts will actually fall off from too much exposure to feminine products. I've seen it with my own eyes. There's just the regular misogynistic stuff about how they'll be perceived as less of a man because he's whipped and buying his wife her hygiene products, or that regular body functions are dirty in some way and are ashamed about even acknowledging that it happens. Depending on where you live, transphobia is a huge thing. Not saying the person buying the product is trans, just that the threat of getting hurt because someone might perceive the person buying is trans is a problem in some areas. It's actually hard to find the correct honest first few times. The first time you buy a pack of tampons, you have about as much experience as a tweenagger. It's probably the same as asking someone to buy me some razor blades. I think Gillette sell about 6 types of razor blades that are incompatible. That I'm buying the wrong ones and look like a fucking idiot. I wouldn't be embarrassed if I was doing it. I would hold that box up like it's the Lion King. Behold, there is at least one female of childbearing age with whose menstrual cycle I am intimately involved. Go me, I am winning at life. Fragile masculinity. I see guys all the time who won't even go into the grocery store to get food, that I'm secretly bleeding from my butthole. I wasn't worried about a damn thing until a woman passed me in the aisle and giggled. Now I'm self-conscious about it. Never minded buying, I just prefer to be told the product, brand and quantity beforehand. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Same about buying condoms as a teen. I proudly bought them, rarely got to use them, but the cashier thought my body count was through the roof. That's all that mattered. Maybe if sex ed was actually taught in schools, all US schools, there wouldn't even be a debate about abortion or birth control or putting pad tampon dispensers in bathrooms, and period tax or period poverty wouldn't be a thing. It is very frustrating being shamed for menstruation, which I have zero control over without birth control, which is also heavily debated though not in my state, Maryland.